Well, thank you for speaking with us today. We had an opportunity to watch some of the show and really enjoyed it. Some episodes take you to Zambia and you're filming lions. Next thing, you're in Antarctica. What was the most challenging experience in making this show?
Definitely, without a doubt, the most challenging episode was filming the fin whale gathering in Antarctica. Just because we were filming, well, first of all, we're based on a little 75-foot ice-strengthened sailboat, which has its own challenges. We put a lot of people and a lot of food for a whole month on that boat. It smelled really bad by the end. We're going to Antarctica, so it's really cold. The weather's really challenging. And the whale gathering we were going for happens out in the open ocean, not in the protection of a bay. So we were really at the mercy of the weather, and the weather was awful. We had about 6, decent days of calm enough conditions out of the month to actually film the whales. That just all combined into one meant that it was a real challenge, but when stuff's hard, it means when it comes good, it feels even better. Yeah. And so to see on one of our last days 300 whales, the biggest gathering of whales, fin whales ever filmed, with thousands of penguins and big snowy mountains in the background, and to fly over that with the drone and get in the water with it, as a wildlife filmmaker, it does not get better than that.
Well, the visuals were incredible in this series, and I wanted to talk about that. You kind of take the audience on this journey of showing them how you find this wildlife, but also how you capture this wildlife. And in the introduction, you say something like, in a rapidly changing world. What was it like to kind of capture wildlife at this state, given climate change, given the way the world is changing right now? Did you feel like a sense of responsibility as a filmmaker to capture this wildlife?
Totally, yeah. I mean, I guess I'm a filmmaker, but primarily I'm a wildlife lover first. And I think it's our responsibility to, not brush over the fact that the natural world is in big trouble. I think all too often it is brushed over because it's easier. But to me also, it just makes a more powerful story. It's a better story knowing that the thing that you're seeing, is going to be gone soon. Or in the case of the fin whales, I think it's important not just to focus on the negatives, you've got to focus on the positives. In the case of the fin whales, that's the best good news story there is in nature. Like 30, 40 years ago, even 10 years ago, those gatherings did not happen because, during the commercial whaling era, whales, fin whales were hunted almost to extinction in the Southern Ocean around Antarctica, and only now, because they're long-lived and slow to reproduce, are they making that comeback. And how exciting is that? That if you protect a place, it'll come back on that scale and look like that? I mean, surely we've got to be doing that everywhere.
Yeah, I think that message really comes across very strongly in the series. I was also really interested in the filmmaking aspect. You talked about the drone and the drone shots and things like that. What was it like kind of walking the audience through how you captured this wildlife?
Yeah, I think it's an interesting balance because I guess you don't want to get too technical and boring, but at the same time, I think that just a little insight into some of the techniques that we use suddenly brings it to life, I think. So I think that was a really important part of it was showing not only how you use these tools around these animals, but how to do it with respect and care, because a lot of the tools that we're using have the potential to be disturbing. Like a drone flying makes a noise, and that is possible to disturb an animal with a drone. So showing how we do that sensitively, I think, is really important.
And one of our kind of hallmarks of our site, in addition to covering movies and television things, is we donate to the Ape Initiative and Cognition Center in Des Moines, Iowa, the sanctuary for bonobos. I'm wondering if you've ever had a chance to work with or film or capture bonobos, or if that would ever be of interest to you.
Definitely of interest. I haven't ever filmed bonobos before, but I know their biology well because, I've filmed chimps before, and chimps solve problems in their social structure by fighting each other and throwing stuff at each other, whereas I know bonobos solve problems with loving, and that's pretty funny.
We fall somewhere in the middle there.
Exactly, yeah.
We fall somewhere in the middle there. I'm wondering if you have an opportunity to make more episodes of the show. What direction do you want the series to head in?
So we are currently making season 2. We are halfway through season 2 of Epic Adventures. I can't reveal too much about what we're doing, But let's just say it's still very much an epic adventure. I hope they are even more epic and even more adventurous. And yeah, that's about all I can say for now without getting in trouble.
Well, we're really looking forward to it. Yeah. Thank
Awesome.
you so much for your time.
Oh, thanks for having me.